and welcome to Respect, the San Francisco International Hip Hop Dance Fest weekly podcast. I'm your host, Micaya, and this is my incredible co-host, Brandy Beasley.
What's up, y'all? Happy day.
Happy day, everyone. We are getting so close to the 26th annual San Francisco International Hip Hop Dance Fest that if you don't have your tickets, you better snatch them.
Get them up, get them. Come on out.
Snatch.
You don't want to miss this.
Snatch them up. Yes. If, you're just found all of a sudden you start listening to us and you're like, what are you talking about? We're talking about one of the very oldest festivals history that is honoring the artistry of hip hop dance. It's not a competition. It's not a battle. No disrespect to competitions, no respect to battles. It just isn't that. It's a showcase of fine art delivered by world-class dance artists from all over the world. And it's an iconic, legendary event that's super important to Bay Area arts right now. You know, we have a need to continue to this legacy that started in 1999.
Wow. Tonight we're gonna party like it's 1999. I couldn't help it.
Hey, wow, was Prince just come back?
No, not even close.
And that's recorded, everyone. We love Brandy. We love you, Brandy.
Oh, I love you all.
Yes.
I love this. Yes. All
so
right.
that's if you have yet to come, do me a favor, come once, then you'll be sold. Come through, check out one of the shows. There's 3 shows, one on Saturday, November 9th at 7 p.m. and 2 on Sunday, November 10th at noon and at 5. Each day it is the same show, but there's different things that are happening each day, you know. So look at www.sfhiphopdancefest.com to get all that information and check this out. Also, if you're a professional artist and you want to apply for next year's festival, the applications start on October 15th of this year, and the deadline is May 25th of next year, and you will go to that same website and apply. And we last year received 113 applications, and we hired 10. So, there's a chance that you could be booked, and there's a big chance that you may not, but it doesn't mean that you shouldn't apply. We pay for all the hotels, the flights, we feed you, we have massage therapists. We really, really love and respect our dancers.
That's right. Come apply. And if you already applied and you didn't get in, reapply, especially if someone named Micaya told you to reapply. You should definitely listen to that.
Oh, that part. You could say that 3 times, because there were some people who I just had to cry because I couldn't fit them in the program this year. But I want them back and I want them to apply again, So I was honored that they even considered in the time of their beautiful lives to send something, shoot. All right. So anyway, that's the Dance Fest. As always, we have education for you, and I'm thrilled about our guest, because I'm going to just say he's a multi-hyphenate like He does many things. He wears many hats. He can correct me if I'm wrong, but I would definitely call him as such. And as long as I've known him, I really don't think I know enough. So I'm excited to get to know him. Who is our guest?
Our guest is Raul, RJ Cool Raul Navalta. And he's a product of hip hop culture. He's a world-renowned B-boy featured on syndicated TV shows such as America's Best Dance Crew, and So You Think You Can Dance. He's also a member of the Triple Threat DJs, which they're an internationally sought after DJ group founded in 1999 and based in the San Francisco Bay Area. So turning passion into profession, Raul holds the role of managing director at Creative Transit Agency LLC. And that's a marketing agency that brings brands and communities together through curated design and experience. He started CTA, the Creative Transit Agency, to establish a new standard in talent and project management with a vision of representing clients' goals and understanding their needs while also contributing to the rich creative arts culture of the Bay Area. Welcome, RJ. We're so glad you're here.
I didn't know you guys were going to read it.
Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah, I read it. Us reads it. Yes.
I love
gosh.
it. I love it.
But yeah, there's that multi-hyphenate. I'm serious. Yes. You're doing it all. And the word community in there, which I love because that is in almost everyone's bio, because I don't think people understand that is part of why artistry is so important, because it is usually about the community. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. It's definitely where we're from and ultimately what we do it for. And, you know, in a professional bio, it doesn't always get highlighted, but, you know, if we're not doing it for the community that helped create us, and, you know, what are we doing it for? So I still can't believe you read it.
You know, you look tired when you turn on your camera, like, dang, I do all that? Right? Or did I read you wrong?
It was a sigh. It was like, oh my God, It's all out there now.
All out there. It's all out there. I mean, you know, with you really do so much that I don't even know where to start. But I want to start, like, how did you start dancing and when?
Yeah. I mean, dancing has always been a part of everything around me, like different cultures. So family parties. I was actually the one that hated to dance, but I would do it because Filipino culture, you had to. And when I actually learned like organized choreography type dance, well, choreography, actual real choreography was in high school. And it was just with some friends. I wasn't even breaking yet. I was just kind of learning how to do these moves with my friends so we look cool. And then breaking kind of took over around 98. That was freshman year in high school. And I wasn't really even breaking. I was more like the guy who would do a flip because I had a background in rollerblading. And I used to do flips. So I was just kind of the guy that was give him an 8 count at the end, and he'll just trust me. He'll do it. It'll be all good. And then college hit, and that's when I really met my my b-boy crew, Beats and Pieces, and they taught me breaking. I learned breaking. I've learned real breaking from my crew members, Power Surge, Mosh, all, you know, the guys from Beats and Pieces. And then there's a long history. I don't know if we want to get into that right off the bat, but then there's like this series of things that I had learned shortly after.
The evolution of, like, from Beats and Pieces to where else did you go? I kind of do want to learn more because I do, like, it's hard for me to follow the evolution of some of the Bay Area dancers because nobody really does one thing. Yeah. They have extended their tentacles, so to speak, in directions.
Okay. Okay, this is great. So I will use dance groups that we all know because they were all a part of the experience. In college, I started going out to dance events where you would see performers and dance groups like Mind Tricks, B-Side. So these are like real Bay Area dance crews, like dance families that had not only these like professional group performances, but also like super, super talented individual performers. And so from there, you just kind of fall in love with the experience of having all these different dance groups come together. This is pre-World of Dance. This is pre-mega stuff. So we had our own like small versions of this in the choreographed dance scene, but same time frame, different lane. There was this organization called Mighty Four that was run by Paul Ski and the Mighty Four team. Paul Ski also represents the Rock Force Crew, which is a group that's actually from my hometown in Union City. So there was this choreographed experience of like these dancers coming together to perform in these showcase type events. But also to note, these weren't showcases on big stages. These were like the multi-purpose rooms at San Jose State. And instead of a main stage, they created a circle. DanceFest was another organization that was around that time, but they were a little bigger in production. These are like college kids doing it for their orgs. And on the breaking side, there was a Mighty Four. There was another event called Return of the B-Boy, all organically organized by people of the community. So Paul Ski ran Mighty Four, J-Rock ran Return of the B-Boy. These are the things. So when we talk about like what we're doing it for in terms of community, it's not like we gave back. It's like, this is how things happened. If we don't do it, no one's going to do it. So this is how my experience kind of developed as not even an organizer at that point. I was just a young adolescent learning things of the community. And while it is in whole the dance community, it was a very, very separate and independent group of folks doing these things simultaneously, pre-internet. And I would say right after that, the college experience, while it's really in hindsight, it's like a flick of light. It felt like everything, because I did something every weekend with somebody, with whether it was on the going out to parties and meeting these dancers, or going out to these practices and training with these people from out of town at breaking events. So you just get, I had the fortune of seeing the difference and experiences in the actual cultures, how the choreo / hip hop community did it was very different from the b-boys and breakers and b-girls of this hip hop community. And I think where I found myself was right in the like center, because most of my friends really were just breakers, but I'm just being honest, but I had such an attraction to the fact there were so many girls inside of the hip hop community. Like, you can only spend so much time with your friends getting sweaty and talking smack to each other until you're like, let's go meet some people. DJing has always been a huge part of who I am and my experience. So I also very much loved to see the different types of performances with the different types of music. One thing about like this umbrella term hip hop dance, it was really a title that allowed you to just try new things and listen to and apply your movement to different types of music. So that's, another huge reason why I actually really much love the hip hop community of the Bay Area. We weren't afraid to just have fun and test things. There's a super iconic performance of B-Side, the female dance group from San Jose, well, from the South Bay, where they had this whole hip hop jazz routine, and eventually they put on tap shoes and like super iconic. I'll send you a link to it if you want to use it as a highlight.
Interesting. Yeah, that was I hired by B-Side several times at the very beginning. I remember them.
Yeah.
So much.
Yeah. So there was just, again, it was happening simultaneously. almost within like the same proximities. Oftentimes you'd see an event and there would be a breaking component to it. But even though they were close in proximity, they were very different in their methods and execution of like their events. But it was an amazing experience, and I think like accepting that there were two of the same things but very different helped me understand how I could be just as an artist. Like I don't necessarily have to be a b-boy. I don't necessarily have to be a this or that. We can all kind of live in harmony. And with all those experiences, I think it actually helped me understand that as a person in general, you could be way more than what anyone defines you. So yeah. So grateful for the dance experience in the Bay Area, because we were really even now we're so fortunate to have this much diversity in such a small area.
Absolutely. So clarify with me what groups you did perform in. Like you mentioned Mind Tricks, but I don't remember. Yeah. You dance with Mind Tricks, or were you too young?
I was definitely young, but I would basically practice with them. So Rata, Rewind Status, at the time he had a b-boy crew called Rewind Status, and I used to use Rata's ID to get into nightclubs.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah. There's one night famously where I basically beat him to the nightclub, and this is one of the first times they started using scanners. So I got in, but he did not.
Messed up.
Yeah, I love it. That's my brother. And from there, so I mean, honestly, like those dance groups, especially the ones that came from the South Bay, it was like a hybrid group of folks that just practiced together. I learned choreo. I learned some of their choreo just in case I needed to like step in. Yeah.
What was the name of the group with Dennis and I don't know if you could see
Chain Reaction?
Chain Reaction.
Yeah. I definitely was not, but I was the kid. I was around them. And eventually in like 2011, maybe 2010, 2011, we all became housemates. And it was a surreal moment for me, because when you see these people perform, you always think of them as a performer. And then obviously they become your friends, and you're like, sometimes you forget that these are the most amazing dancers you've ever seen, and you get to be with them and cook food and talk smack to each other. But yeah, Dennis, Francis, JR, all the Chain Reaction boys, like we all became like a closer knit family.
But you're younger than them.
Barely. Yeah. I'm about 4 or 5 years younger. I just turned 40 this year. So.
Okay.
Congratulations.
I'm trying. It's like all my little, you should see inside my brain right now, trying to figure this all out. Yeah. I mean, to me, it's hard for me to figure out like the timeline. So, okay. Interesting. Okay. So the other thing is you used to roller skate. Did you say roller skate or
rollerblade? Yeah. In the early 90s. Early to mid, sorry, like 94 to 98, right before high school. Yeah. Aggressive inline skating and skateboarding were like this. And when X Games came out, X Games was like this ESPN aggressive, they called it action sports. So action sports was this thing that these like offshoot sports organizations invested in. So there was actually a lot of events for young kids and teens in the action sports side of things. There was rock climbing, there was skateboarding, snowboarding, and eventually inline skating. The X Games used to be like a week-long festival, and actually one of the very first X Games experiences was in San Francisco. It was at like Olympic level where there were qualifiers that you needed to get to in order to even compete. And I had the super great fortune of being in the region, and I tried out for it. I didn't make it to the TV show, but I was right there. Even
You
in
you could do flips on rollerblades.
yeah. I have a clip of me as a young child. I'll send this to you, but
Yeah.
but this is actually, I just want to show it here because it's so funny.
Yeah, please show it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that this is me.
Yeah.
And you know what this did was, this is me in 2001, or sorry, 2021.
Oh, really? 2021?
Yeah, this was during the pandemic where we all just kind of,
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
baby. My body hurts.
Oh, I literally wake up and stretch. I wake up and I bend my knees because I need to straighten, or I need to stretch my ligaments. So yeah,
Right.
Wow.
The pain is real. Yeah.
That is insane. I mean, I know that you personally have come and taught Soulforce some break-in.
Yep.
Brandy, you were already gone. That was
I think I was already gone. I think, yeah.
It was
when
recently.
I was doing it, there was a different B-boy.
Miles. Was it Miles?
Yes, it was Miles.
Oh my gosh, Miles Kennedy.
Yes.
Yeah, he taught a piece where a whole break-in piece that you all did in the superhero piece.
That's right.
Which
That's
was
right.
last performance, right, Brandy?
That was my last performance. That's funny. That's the shirt I have on underneath my sweatshirt. Yeah. Oh my gosh. That was like, woo, mad respect. That's when I had mad respect for B-boys and B-girls before that. But then when you get down and you start doing that and you're already a dancer. So like your core is already pretty good. But then you're like, oh, it's not B-boy, B-girl.
Yeah.
That's mad respect.
Keegan did it in heels.
Yes,
wow.
she did. Yes, she did.
She was Catwoman. But so you came through, I think, when I was sick.
Yep.
Yep. Oh, yeah. And you just volunteered your time and taught Soulforce a piece that they performed in the Mission and the Mix, and maybe at DanceFest. I don't remember that. And it was so great. It was so helpful.
Thank you. Yeah. And also I remember that piece too, because we used a song that was made by the DJ who DJ'd the Olympics, DJ Flegg. Yeah. He was like an up and coming performer, and he shared his music with a handful of people. And I was like, oh, perfect opportunity. It was like All the Horns or something, the name of the song. But
yeah, it was a good song, good dancing. You have definitely managed to be, like you said, in the middle of, kind of two different communities that sometimes don't intertwine. And that's been good because it helps the crossover. I have never been able to, go, okay, my dance company, Soulforce, let's do some, CCs. I mean, some 6 steps. I can fake it, but I don't claim at all. I learned a few little tiny things. So, that has been great because it's important.
Yeah.
It's super important. So I'm really glad. And then when did you start getting into the whole DJ aspect?
Yeah, DJing is really interesting because I knew for a fact dancing was going to be really simple for me because my body could take it. I was, and then choreography it just made sense. So I was like, oh, it'll take time for me to learn how to remember this stuff. But DJing had always been around. And I remember the first time I ever really saw DJing was at a college party in Sacramento. My cousin Brian, who's about 4 years older than me, took me to it. And it was your like typical, if you close your eyes and imagine late 90s, early 2000s college party. And I remember hearing the music, watching the people dance, and seeing the DJ. His name was DJ Tyson DJ Dye. and I couldn't believe that this guy was like talking to the people with the music he was playing. And not literally, like, you know how especially New York DJs are like cut the music and say put your hands up. He was just playing the music and they were reacting, and I vividly remember the entire experience. That was definitely like early late 90s, but that was the first time I ever saw and experienced it like as a real thing. From there, my buddies and I were able to invest in our own equipment and in some records. Luckily for us, back in the day, they would literally give away records at these old places like Rasputin and Aviva. So we just grabbed a bunch of free boxes and just learned how to DJ all of the technical elements of like blending, transitioning. We just learned kind of on our own. And at the time also, we would listen to the radio and hear how those guys DJ'd, because radio DJing was very like clean or smooth or PG. Like it was, if you're talking about like blending music, radio DJs blend music perfectly. But when you get to breaking, your goal is not to necessarily blend beautifully and move and listen and have the transitions be seamless. It was more like, how are you going to manage this energy? And how are you gonna respond? And how are you gonna help these B-boys and B-girls, you know, dance better than they normally would be? And those are the elements of like scratching, dropping, juggling, all these things that I didn't even know to listen for, became a part of my ear because of my dance. So yeah, in the beginning, I started DJing probably 98, 99. And then once I got into actual breaking, which is later on in college, I had the ear for those techniques, that the technique of scratching, juggling, and all that stuff based on my like experience through dance. And also like we literally have the best DJs in the world in our backyard in the Bay Area.
Yes.
Some of my crew members, Shortcut, Vinrock, Apollo, the Triple Threat DJs, who are also part of larger groups, Beat Junkies, Rocksteady. Like I can't believe I am representing the same name as those guys, but also I can't believe how close in proximity we are to these people who created this style. Mm-hmm. And so the DJ thing, I don't know how it happened, but I was just in the right place at the right time, and I was willing to step up and try to do things. Honestly, that's all it was.
So, but you said that, you started doing the DJ before you danced?
Yeah.
I mean, it all kind of,
okay.
Yeah, it all kind of happened simultaneously because it was all a part of the same. See, another thing is these DJs who are like big names now, they used to spin and play at the college events and the B-boy events at the rec center. So it was always a part of it. But it wasn't until I experienced that event, that house party in Sacramento, that it was made aware to me that this is what a DJ does. And again, I was just like, we're really just fortunate in the Bay Area to have all these people who created these styles of DJ techniques at arm's length. Another, I would say, big piece of me understanding and experiencing DJing is being educated on the elements of hip hop. I mean, I don't have to tell you guys this, but the 4 elements of hip hop: DJ, MCing, breaking, graffiti, or hand styles. Like these things help create this foundation to what is now hip hop as a whole. And you know, when you learn that it's not that they're kind of interdependent on each other, especially as a kid, you want to try them all. You want to dabble in everything. So I felt like it was my duty to actually become a DJ until I just like realized it's mostly for fun. It's mostly, and this is just my personal opinion and my philosophy on DJing, is DJ for me is not for me, it's for the crowd that I'm trying to move and to inspire and to, whatever. So it's very different. Dance is super personal. Like, I don't know anyone that can make me dance now, but I'll DJ anything for free.
Right on. No, I am like critical. If I'm out dancing somewhere and the DJ, I'm like, DJ, what are you doing?
Exactly.
I'm trying to,
exactly.
make me feel it. So yeah, the DJ can make me sit down.
Yeah. And there's a time and a place, but there's also, I talk about this in another conversation I just had, but there's also a purpose.
Yeah.
Like, if you're here to start this party and drive this energy, then you have to be able to put your personal whatever to the side and read this room. Like, let's go. We only have 2 hours. Let's go.
Interesting.
I'm telling you, I paid to get into this club. But I know you can do all this other stuff, but like, I think we're all here to dance. So like,
that's so funny. That is so funny. Oh my goodness. So tell us how many times you perform at the San Francisco International Hip Hop Dance Fest, and who with?
Yeah.
Because I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, perform. That's let's. How are we going to define that word? But so on the DJ side, I've DJ'd maybe 5.
Wow.
Maybe 2 of them was just me kind of in the lobby warming it up. But for sure, I've done 3 that have had me on the side of the stage, being the house DJ. Oh, wait a second. I also performed with Dennis. So that was a DJ dance. Yeah. I think we did that twice.
I love that piece. And that was it was so intriguing. Like, they would DJ, they come out and dance, one would DJ, one would dance. What was the name of that group? The 2 of you?
Yeah, the Motherfunkers. And actually,
Motherfunkers.
And the Motherfunkers is actually a larger group of 4. So there's Tony Why Not, B-Boy Why Not. Oh. There's Bionic Man, John Biani. Yeah. Dennis Infante, and then me.
Love. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
So this year you are the winner of the San Francisco or the recipient of the San Francisco International Hip Hop Dance Fest Legend Award, and you'll be receiving it at DanceFest this year. Congratulations!
Thank you. I still have not fully processed it, but I will say thank you.
Well, I know you've been around for so long, and even though my senior citizen brain, sometimes the synapses can't remember, it's true. Why? I am embracing. I go places and say, "You have senior discount."
Word.
I love that. I love that.
I'm like, "Do you want to see my ID? Because I'm up there now." But no, like the synapses, like it's hard for me to remember everything, but I've seen you in so many different iterations and forms and variations of it. And I see you in the community. I see what you're doing with Creative CTA. And it's just been consistent for a long time. And I know you are super young and you look super young, but in a way I'm like, maybe he's older than I think he is. I don't even know anymore. But anyways, congratulations, because, that's a beautiful thing.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I think the one thing you just said that really made me so proud right now is that you've said that I've been consistent, because that to me is probably the most important thing. Regardless of what we're doing, the consistency to always show up, always do your best, always just let's go. That has been the driving philosophy in all the things that I've done. So I thank you for recognizing that.
Absolutely. That's only one of the things, you're a super creative soul, human being that that you have this range of things that if I came to you and I was very specific, you would be made to order with, okay, I got that for you. I got that. The more, and I'm that way as a choreographer too. Tell me exactly what you want and I'll give it to you. And I think that you are very similar to that, and that, you know, you can do it on a musical level, on a dance level. You have done more than one. You're not just a b-boy. You've done other types of dance, and for that, it makes you well-rounded. Which is why the year 2020, I had called you and I said I have this idea that I would like for you to do at the festival this year. And that would be a little fun tutorial that you do on stage to show everyone the difference of locking, breaking, popping, waving, you know, just a little fun thing, but make it not only educational, but entertaining. And you were like, I got you. Do you want this? And can you? And I was like, yes. Well, you know, 2020 was a, you know, unexpected.
Wild times.
A wild time, and we never got back to that idea, but I do have that still in somewhere in my idea book of saying, you know, want to bring that in, because as a producer and as a curator, it is something that is a service to the audience to say, you know, I don't expect that you're supposed to know this just because you bought this ticket. That would be kind of like hoity-toity of me.
Yeah.
That's the word. So yeah, maybe everyone, this is something that might happen, because I can see if anyone's going to make it very animated and educational but entertaining, I think it would be you. Don't you?
I mean, I do my best. I'll tell you that much.
So if anyone who wants to fund the 27th next year annual, this little thing, please send your donation to sfhiphopdancefest.com and write in the memo that this is for this one project, and we will fund it for sure.
Yes.
Right,
yes.
Here's the link. There's somewhere.
Do it.
The link. All right. So the last thing I want to touch on, because Brandy and I have talked to, I don't know, a handful of people this year, and it seems to be the ongoing little bits of conversation all talk about legacy and honoring how things started, but also how does that evolve?
Mm-hmm.
How does dance evolve and still honor? I mean, you look at the DanceFest, mission statement that we honor the legacy and encourage the evolution. But how do we do that without, number one, not watering something down, with still honoring? Things have to evolve. And how do you do it without imitation? Do you have any kind of feedback for that? I know that's a very...
Yeah. You know, I'm going to take a very b-boy approach to this response and say, just do you. And however you want to approach said evolution, said evolve, like however you feel like you want to contribute your take on this culture, with enough respect to understanding where it came from and doing your research on learning the history and pivotal moments and key people. Do you, because if there's one thing that I have like really learned from hip hop as a culture, is your goal is to be as you as possible. And if I am in Alaska and if I can't go to the Bronx and if I can't do, that doesn't mean I can't be a part of it. What it does mean is it's my responsibility to learn as much as I can. And if I'm limited on resources and accessibility with these people, don't judge me based on my like non-hip hopness of this stuff that I can't get to, because in essence, I'm doing the best that I can. I'm using all the resources that are around me, and I'm applying as much of the philosophy of hip hop to what I'm capable of doing. And I'm just doing the best I can. There's a song by Gangstar called Dwick, DWYCK. It's actually an acronym for "Do What You Can, Kid." And so, yeah, yeah. And so for me, I think we obviously have to do our best in learning from our history, not just because of hip hop culture, but because, if we don't learn the history will repeat itself in so many ways, right? Good or bad. But I think one thing that kind of deters a lot of, especially young folks now who are just bombarded with information, is this kind of shame, and not shame, this like overwhelming need to fit in a box to eventually break out of the box. So I think if you want to contribute to hip hop, do your best in learning where it came from, who started it, and all of the foundation history, but also use your personal experiences to see where you personally can take it. How are you going to use your natural ability, your natural talents, your charisma, your whatever, to elevate and spread the awareness of the culture? The culture being the 5 elements, I would say: hip hop, breaking, DJing, graffiti, emceeing, and knowledge. So, there's definitely a foundation to it, but it's up to us to create the bridges and the ladders that help us get to that next level. And listen, my ladder, my bridge might not look like yours, but it's not more or less hip hop than you are.
You just took us to church.
I mean, I have a deep passion for this conversation because obviously I'm not Black, I'm not Hispanic, I'm not even from New York. I have an aunt that lives in the Bronx that I would go there once every 2 years. But this is truly a Black and brown culture that I am contributing to, and I'm also participating in. But in essence, hip hop is, do what you can with what you've got to your best ability, flip the script, use your tools differently. This turntable is not meant for this, but do it anyway. It's like, I can't tell you how to do something, because in essence, hip hop is you listening to that thing of I should be doing this way. And if they don't like it, let's battle.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'll tell you this, that's one thing I love about these conversations, because there's no person in this world that I will not step up to on some DJ shit and some breaking shit, because I'm getting goosebumps now. I love no one can call me out on anything in this topic, because I will step up with you. We've been doing this for 20 plus years, and I'm still young enough to battle. Let's go.
Wow, love you for this. I love you for this. Go ahead. No, that is it. It really is the topic right now, because we have heard from people who have taught us over these 4 years, these origin stories, and it is true, and some of them conflict with this dude or this, but it doesn't mean it's not true for them.
Yep.
Right. So we honor their truth, but we also are okay, we also have had no one say, don't take what I've done and just continue to grow and evolve. But they do want the respect. They do want the acknowledgement, which, is understandable. But you can't not allow any type of art, anything to not grow. Standing water gets funky.
Yep.
And not in a good way. Be a little sticky. It's got to keep flowing. Things must flow. Things must flow. So thank you. That was a great finish to this. Once again, congratulations for becoming a recipient of the Legend Award from San Francisco International Hip Hop Dance Fest. He will be receiving the award after the closing show. The closing show is the November 10th, the Sunday show at 5. We have a party afterward with a little bit of drinks and bites. Those are sponsored by Miss Brandy Beasley.
Love it.
Yes, and everyone who gets a ticket to the show is invited to stay for this party. We'll have the awards and we'll have the drinks and things. We'll can meet the performers, and I don't know. I might have more stuff. I haven't figured it out. I've got a few more days to decide. Because I love to give. I'm one of those people.
Yeah, more surprises? No way. No way. From Micaya? No way.
If you come over to my house for dinner, I'm not going to just give you one thing. I'm going to cook like salad, a side, about 3 other things, just in case you didn't like one of the things. I'm going to offer you a lot of food. I'm that way when I teach. I'm like, you want more choreography? Let's go.
Love it.
What a joy. Thank you so much. Everyone, don't forget to come to the 26th Annual San Francisco International Hip Hop Dance Fest, November 9th and 10th at the Palace of Fine Arts in San Francisco. That's right, the Palace of Fine Arts. And you can get your tickets and learn all the information at sfhiphopdancefest.com. Until we see you, much love and much
respect.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.